Hello. Hey y'all. Welcome back to my channel. It is Nay here and I have a very special guest. We have Nay's testimony hour coming to you live. And I want you to introduce yourself. Tell them who we're talking to today.
Hi, everybody. My name's Charisma Singleton. I'm here. I live in the area of Boston.
Oh, Boston. Yo, I've never been to Boston. Like, what is Boston like? Is there a lot of black folks in Boston?
Actually, yes. It has a very big community of, like, I would say Africans and Caribbeans and even just Black Americans and a lot of different races as well.
Were you born in
A
Boston?
lot of people only see the Caucasian part of Boston, but there's a lot of variety.
Were you born here?
So I wasn't born in Boston. I was actually born in Fall River, but I've also lived all over Massachusetts. So I've kind of gotten a big view of the different types of people that they have spread around.
Yeah, when you said Paul River, I don't know. I was
Sorry,
like,
Fall River.
oh yeah, I got really mute because I'm like, where is that at? And then you kept going and you said Massachusetts. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, so Fall River is more like the southern side of Massachusetts, going close to Rhode Island.
Okay. Yeah, I think I've been to Massachusetts. Maybe not. I think I'm lying. Never. Yeah, I never been over there in that area. I need to though. I've been to like, the DMV and Connecticut, but I don't know. I think you're more south, right? Massachusetts, is that by?
So Connecticut is actually right next to Massachusetts. Like if we were to drive west,
So I was okay.
Connecticut and New York.
All right, cool. So, do you want to tell them your age or anything like that, or for them to really understand, or maybe they want to connect, or maybe not?
Yeah, so I am 27 years old. I am a single mother of one girl. Her name is Soraya. She's 4 years old.
Aw. Hi, Soraya. Yeah, Soraya is so sweet. She says hi to me earlier, y'all, when we first started the call. 27. This is hilarious because the guy that I did a call with yesterday was 27 years old. And I want you to know that 27, especially for a lot of guys like chosen ones who are sent, who are like seers or healers or teachers, leaders, preachers, whoever you are, where you're called to like speak or be a leader. I don't know if you're doing that, like you're a speaker or whatever, but I know at 27 that's a big year where a lot of people go through like their spiritual awakening. Like, do you feel like this year at 27, because the guy that I just talked to, he was 27 as well, and I'm like, yo, I remember when I turned 27, I even wrote it on my Instagram. I was like, this is the year of my rebirth. So I feel like it's something in the spirit where at 27 it activates something. What about you? Were you?
I agree. I 100% agree about that because I feel like ever since I turned 27, that's when I really felt the shift in my life.
Yes.
Like I started seeing things in a completely different perspective. And right now I am pretty much sharing my experience on my own platform as well.
Oh, what's your platform? Hold on. What's the platform?
Yeah. So my platform is under Cast the Bestie. So I actually use my platform just to pretty much spread love and positivity because I honestly feel like I was called to share that unconditional love that I have within myself. I've been through a lot of things in my life that could have caused me to truly be a bad person, but that never was the case for me. Like I may have had the moments where I may have been a crash out, like when I was younger, maybe last year. but this year, like I feel like it was a complete different scenery for me. So I do agree that 27, and I also have friends also who turned 27 who have gone through the same thing. They may have not gone through it in the same way as me. Right. I went more towards spirituality, but I have other friends who've gone more towards the religious.
I got you. That makes sense. Okay, wait. So your platform, is it on YouTube?
So I have it on YouTube right now. YouTube, TikTok.
Can you say your name again and spell it out too? Because I didn't catch it, so I know they probably didn't catch it.
Yes, so it's Cast the Bestie, and it's at KAS the THE Bestie BESTIE.
So it's Cass, Kas, y'all. Cass the bestie. Search her, look her up, because I feel that I dropped a video. I said chosen versus called, and you know, a lot of people, we know that scripture where it say many are called, few are chosen. And I was kind of breaking that down where like few are chosen is few are chosen. Like literally, it's only a few of us who were already chosen with the Holy Spirit in them. Basically like a mini Jesus or like a mini Noah or Moses who had to do big things on earth to inspire or whatever like that. You might be a leader, you might be a healer, you might be a seer, you might be a prophetess, you might be able to dream, you might be able to do cards, whatever it is. It's a whole new kind of like earth I want to say that's taking place here, where God has been lifting up his next generation of the leaders. And I was like, yo, I want to connect with all my people, and I've been hearing God say like, I'm connecting you to them, like I'm bringing them across to you. So dang, like two people in a row with 27 years old, and you got your own platform, and he had his own platform, and he was like enlightening and talking to people. Now you got your own platform, and you're like maybe you really did answer the call. Like you actually were called, just like we all were, to get on YouTube. And I comment on some people's stuff. I was like, you can tell. I remember going back and forth with someone like when I first started, and she was saying how she's a prophet too, and da da da. And I was like, babe, if you was a prophet or you was a leader or you was a speaker, you'll be speaking right now on YouTube, because God called all his children, the chosen ones, to come out and inspire right now. And she never said nothing after that. She just kind of disappeared off my channel.
Oh no! See,
which is good. We don't we ain't need her here,
I
but
feel like I needed to. Like I feel that I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing in life unless I can share what I have,
right,
the knowledge I have, even without like with all the things that I went through. Like if I can save somebody the heartache from having to deal with what I had to deal with, I will carry that burden on my back for them.
Period. Now we're about to get into what you went through. Okay, let's just get into it. So you're 27 years old. Okay, like how was it growing up? Like in the household, like what type of family style did you have? Did you have your mom in the house, your dad in the house? Who raised you? Let's start there.
So I was raised by both of my parents. I had both my mom and my dad in my life. We did have kind of a tumultuous childhood, not necessarily like I can see it. It was more things that were going on in the background that I didn't see until it got to the point of once I was about 8 years old. My mother packed us all up on a random day while we were at school, and we went over to a domestic violence shelter. So at that point in time, I honestly didn't understand what was going on, but I knew that I was just sad because, you know, I always loved my dad. I've always been like a daddy's girl. So I decided that, you know, like I'll just move through life with the cards that I've been dealt. So after that, we actually went to a lot of shelters after that. So we stayed in a shelter in Lawrence, Massachusetts. And that is a predominantly, I would say, Hispanic area. There's not really too many other races over there. But now it's starting to become more, I guess, you know, more different demographics going into the area. But after that, we ended up moving to Boston. And then my family got back together, my parents.
Okay, how old are you now? How old is you now?
So by the time we got back together, I was 10 years old.
Okay, so it wasn't really that long of a
separation.
Exactly.
But after, like, when we lived in Boston, it was a lot going on because, like, I wasn't used to the type of area. Because I pretty much, like, grew up in, it wasn't, like, a suburbs, but it was more of, like, I didn't see too much fighting. Like, I might have seen some fights because, you know, I have siblings. But
you didn't grow up, like, in the hood.
Yeah, I didn't go through the hood at first. Like, and then I got used to it. So then it kind of merged into my identity because I kind of had to be able to live there in order for me to survive. So, like, on my first day of even going to school there, I remember me and my brother, we got jumped.
No way.
Yes, on my first day, I used to get bullied. But it was like, I never had a problem with it because I always just knew, like, I'm going to go home at the end of this. So, but yes, there was a lot of situations that yes, it's done. Sorry, I made her some French fries. But
It's no problem.
so yes, in that area, it was a lot going on. Like I was always fighting, but once we moved out of there, we ended up moving to this area called Haverhill, and Haverhill was more of a white area. It had more Caucasians there, and there was a lot of racism actually, which that was also something I wasn't used to. So I had to also form identity for that. So
Yeah.
by the time I was around like 13, 14, I kind of had like a different persona about myself that I had to build just to survive in the world.
Yeah.
So
Because of
after
all like
that,
the bullying and everything, like what the
yeah, like,
racism and just trying to fit in and get used to it.
yeah, because I'm a dark skinned woman, so
Okay.
I've always had like that adversity in my life that I've had to deal with. People who just couldn't see how it was to be living from my perspective,
Yeah.
and I had to grow self love for myself because I was bullied. So
Yeah. You.
if not, I would have had a very bad outlook of myself. But I always had that, like I always had it within myself to pick myself back up.
Right.
So I never really needed anybody to help me pick myself up, even though I may be sad in the corner.
But that was
'Cause
probably because you had the spirit of God in you already, so you already knew like to process
yes,
things within yourself. See, you see the difference, because a lot of people, they would have went to other people and they would have formed friendships that they shouldn't have, and then their life would have turned a whole different way. But you knew to go within. It's like a friend within. You knew you had a friend in you. Okay, go ahead.
yes. And then so actually, to go to that, growing up, my family, they've always been Jehovah's Witness,
Mm,
and that was it was kind of difficult for me to adjust to because it was kind of like in and out in my life, and like my parents, they would I would say they would use being a Jehovah Witness as a way to keep control over us. Like you can't do that, you can't do that. You're gonna get in trouble from God. So it was kind of like it felt like a lot of manipulation at a young age. So it kind of brought me to feel that I didn't. If it, I feel like it brought me to make me feel like I didn't have a connection with God because they made me feel like the
that
only way
was
I
the
could
only
connect to
way.
God. Yes. So like
Mm.
when I turned 14, I did end up going to a church through this youth program that I said I got some friends and we went over there. And I actually enjoyed it. Like we used to go to Bible study, and that's all something that, we chose to do on our own. But the people who were inside of the Bible study, they were not people who were walking with God. They were leading me down a bad path. And I ended up being in a bad situation just based off of me giving my trust to somebody who I thought was going to be leading me into the right direction.
You gotta, okay, now we gotta get into the tea a little bit, sis. Charisma.
Yeah, we're going to get into this tea.
Because I grew up in a church or whatever, and a lot of things happen within the church. But what type of people were it? Like, were you guys the same age? Like, was it like
So, yeah,
older
so the girls,
people?
it was older people. Like, when I got into it, I went with my friends, but I always was more mature.
Mm-hmm.
And my friends tend to be like younger than me, or they just were not as mature as me. So I would always feel like I gravitated more towards people who were older than me.
Mm-hmm.
So I did come across this woman who I thought of her she was like my mentor. I really looked up to her. And like we used to party because we started partying with each other because I was a teenager, so I was like, what, she's grown, like this is cool. But then she started showing me that she was into more things than I knew. Like she was into drugs and drinking every day.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of got me into that, but not like drugs as in like, because the drugs they were doing, I was not.
Yeah.
I never wanted to do those drugs because I know that my family has a big history of addiction.
Right. So you
So
knew
I
to
decided
not
to
go
not.
down that path already. That was already in your spirit. Like,
I already
Right.
seen where it was going to go for me. Like, I already know. So, but it got to this one time when I was at her house and she was with some other people
Mm-hmm.
who we were all hanging out with. And in the situation, I ended up going to the store to go get something to eat with one of her friends.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, this is one of her friends. We're cool. We're chilling. We're going to go get this. But then he's like, let's go get something to eat at Denny's. So we go get Denny's. And he's like talking to me like he's interested in me. And I think he was like 30 years old. I'm not going to lie. And I was probably like
You was 15,
17.
14.
Now, this time I was like 17 now.
Okay.
So this was like skip up. Yeah.
Okay.
So by this time I was like 17. But he was like 30 years old. So he ended up bringing me back to her house. But he's like, yeah, I'll give you a ride home. And long story short, it didn't end up going that way. He ended up taking advantage of me. So
where did he take you?
He took me to his house.
To his house. Were you drunk? Were you drugged?
Yeah, we were drinking, and then it was like we lived in towns close to each other. So I was just like, I'm telling him, I'm like, yeah, I live right there. He's like, okay, yeah, I'll bring you there after. I'm like, bring me there after.
I get what you're saying. I know some people that, yeah, men can be, I know what you're saying right now. And it was like, oh, I'll do it after. So then after whatever, we don't need to get into the technical of what it was. Obviously, molestation is being touched regardless. So you were touched probably inappropriately.
It was more of like rape, to be honest.
Damn, okay.
And yeah, but it's honestly like I came to terms with it. I had to like do a lot of healing from that. I can say I'm still healing from these things because, you're constantly healing in life. And wounds only get reopened if you're in situations like that bring it out. But
and
after that,
if you don't sit with it and acknowledge, like, it's not my fault that this happened, we might feel like the guilt or shame within ourselves, like, oh, I shouldn't have been hanging with that girl, or oh, I shouldn't have seen this, I shouldn't have did this. But to be honest, it was probably meant to happen anyway, because you were able to just be able to share your story. Like, we got to take the bad with the good, because how you turned out, it sounds pretty good. You know what I'm saying? So that's when you change, you gotta, when we're healing, we gotta change our perspective and think like that too, so that we don't like be, I don't know, scared to move forward forever. Like when shit, because I know when stuff like that happened to me, when I went through that situation, I was just like, I felt like, damn, I should have like, like,
it kind of feels like it's your fault.
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit.
Like, I could have prevented that.
Right. And
but then it was like,
we can't do that. Yeah. We can't get like that. So, all right. So, after this happened, right, what's up with your mom and dad? Like, did you go to your mom and dad? Who did you go to? Like, you went back to the friend. Did you tell her what happened? Like,
so what happened was, at the same time, I did have a boyfriend who is right now my child's father.
Okay.
So, let's hold that thought. So, I went and I told the person who's my friend, who was my friend, about what happened. She was just like, well, why did you leave with him? And I was like, what? And she pretty much just made it my fault. And then when I asked her, I was like, I want to report him because, he did that to me. And she would not give me any of his information. So that just made me, I just completely cut her off. Good. After that, and then I went to my boyfriend at the time, and I let him know what happened. And at first, he was, very supportive of it. And he took me out, we were talking about it, and, I cried and all of that, and he comforted me. Then after that, I went to my parents, and I told them what happened. My dad, it's not that my parents don't care, but I feel like the way that they go about things,
they probably was like, well, you should have never went or put yourself in that situation.
Yeah, they honestly didn't. After I told them about it, they sat with me, and then the situation never came up again. They never tried to do anything to help me, to get me through it. I was just depressed for a very long time, but I had to feel those feelings. I was definitely in despair. I honestly wanted to kill myself after that, because I'm sorry, and I'm not sure if that's something I can't say, but
no, I don't.
But I honestly,
gotta say, shit.
Yeah, I honestly was very suicidal after that, but I ended up, still persevering, still continuing going to school, because I did have
you were suicidal because you felt like nobody was on your side.
Yeah, I kind of felt a little dang, you feel like you have somebody, but you don't.
Exactly. And then it's your parents, and then it's your boyfriend, and then it was that friend. It's damn, who got me?
Right.
I
So let me
got
tell
you.
you about what happened the next day after I was with my boyfriend at the time.
Mm-hmm.
We the first day we spoke, and then the next day he comes to me and he breaks up with me, and he tells me that he thought about it and he felt like it was my fault and that I was the reason why it happened, and pretty much he was calling me he's pretty much calling me a
Uh-huh.
hoe.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, okay. So after that, that also, like, it kind of put the nail on the coffin. Like,
Yeah.
after that, I was feeling like, wow, I really don't got nobody. So
Mm-hmm.
I feel like after that point in time, I kind of shut off my feelings. And that's when I kind of like woke the savage up in me.
Yeah.
So, like, I kind of really didn't care about anybody's feelings because it was like, dang, nobody cares about my feelings.
Right. And you were probably like, I'm being too nice. Like I need to start being like them.
Exactly.
So
But even then,
how did you start
I
going out in
tried
these
to be.
streets?
Well, I used to be like I was just like a party girl. Like I used to be out partying with people, random people, hanging out with random people. Like I was like, okay, well, I guess I was just doing more of what people thought I was doing in the first place.
Mm.
So I'm like, so they're like, oh, you're doing this, you're doing this. I'm like, yep, I am doing that. I'm actually
Mm.
doing it a lot.
Mm.
So I was outside, I would say, for a couple years after that. But I would say all in all, my family, they just, I feel like my parents are always just not there, but they're there at the same
I
time.
get what you're
Like,
saying. Like emotionally they're not there, but physically they're there. It's a brick wall. Like
yes,
they're there. You see the bricks, but bitch, you can't get past. You can't get through to them.
exactly. And they also were like narcissistic themselves. So they would, like, 1 second they're nice, 1 second they're mean, one
Mm.
second I'm doing the right thing, 1 second I need my ass whooped. Like,
Yeah, very
so,
bipolar. You have
yes. And
siblings?
yes, actually, I have six. Well, I have altogether is six in total
With the
with me
same
included.
parents.
So I have two siblings who are my full siblings from my parents, and then I have four half siblings. But I consider all my family, well, all my siblings, even if we don't talk.
And how was theirs? Like, were you the only one that kind of went through this, or like were they going through things as well, or were you like the black sheep? Like, it felt like you was the only person going through this or seeing shit, and it's just like, am I don't like I'm the only person like out of your siblings, or were y'all like not? Did y'all grow up together? Was they around to see things or whatever?
So I would say that I wasn't the only one going through things, but I was the only one who was aware to actually speak up for myself,
Mm-hmm.
to like say like this is unjust, like this is not
Mm.
something that should be going on. And so with that, it's hard because we were trying to stick together, I would say,
Mm.
because two of us to go and explain to my parents like this is not right was better than one of us going against them.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, I was always that one who was like, I don't care what you say. If you're wrong, you're wrong. And my parents are the type to be like, and I don't care if I'm wrong,
I'm the
I'm
parent.
right.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
even if they're dead wrong. So, and I feel like that also went into my adult life because in my dating life, that's how I viewed men as somebody, like, as people who have the authority. So when I got into relationships, I really was just following whatever the man said. I'm like, he's the leader.
Right.
So
And he could be
whatever
leading
is
your ass to hell, but you didn't understand. You gotta find someone that's leading properly, led by God, basically.
exactly,
Okay.
exactly. And so my child's father, who was the boyfriend at the time,
Right.
we kept being on and off, on and off, on and off, on and off for a lot of years. And that was, I would say, like my catalyst for me to actually, that was the catalyst for me to even start my spiritual journey.
Right.
Because after that, it was like, I really got nobody but me and God.
Mm-hmm.
Because at first it was, I got nobody but me. But when I realized I really did have God, because it's like, dang, if I did not have God, I would have never made it this far.
Exactly. You
Mm-hmm.
would
So
have
it was
never
like,
even got to the point to realize like what's going on. You know, a lot of people don't pause and realize what's going on or happening in their life. They're just moving, 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 and you could have been like in a deeper hole. But it's almost like you caught yourself and you
yes.
realized what was going on. Whoa.
Yeah, so after that, like, I ended up getting pregnant and I had a baby. I got pregnant at, what was it, 22? I was 22 years old when I got pregnant. And like, I thought that we were going to be finally like, all right, I felt like, finally you're done, like, with all of the stuff that you're doing. Like, you're done being outside. Okay. Like, but no, it didn't end up being that. Like, he pretty much just manipulated me, and he just wanted to have control over me, to use my energy so that he can pretty much live his best life. And he'll try to use my energy in any way possible, even if he can get a little piece of it from somebody else.
So, this was like the karmic relationship that put you into your dark night of the soul.
Yes, 100%.
I went through that.
100%.
I went through that as well. Maybe four. I don't even remember how many years ago. Maybe 4 years ago, 3, 4 years ago, and I remember like not even realizing that I was going through a depression because I was just home, didn't want to like go outside. I had gained weight like being with him, and then after the relationship, I didn't even feel pretty. I'm a whole fucking model, like full time. Like, what is going on with life? And then God started showing me like this one lady that was a reader, a tarot reader, and I started listening to her like every day, like nonstop. I'm just in my bed all day, and I live alone. So she was just started lifting up my spirit again and just telling me like, you gonna be fine. They gonna get their karma. They gonna get theirs, because I never like, did the games. I kind of just let this man go about his business. I knew that he had went and got back with his ex or whatever like that, and I knew that bitch was evil. So I had even told him, I'm like, oh, you went back to that, then I know you still love the devil. Like, you feel me? Just saying little stuff, and I kind of just broke away freely, but I was going through it at home for like months, and then I got into tarot readers that was uplifting me. So what I want to ask you is, what gave you that uplift? Like, how did you get on YouTube? Like, what did God bring to you to like get you to get your spirits back up? Like, was it something like that where you were pulled into a video or something?
So yeah, when I was going through my dark night of the soul, like I was saying to like the people who were in my life at the time, I was like, like I don't even know who I am anymore. Like, I feel like I'm in two minds all of the time. Like, I feel like this, but then I feel like I have to live like this. And it's like I felt like I couldn't stick up for myself. I couldn't be there for myself. But then what really started to raise my happiness up, got myself back, was I've seen one day I was on Instagram. This girl, she was posting like a horoscope, cancer horoscope, but she was using tarot cards, and I didn't know nothing about tarot cards back then. But then I started getting into like, the ones that's like pick a card or pick a deck that has with the gem, with the crystals. And so I was like, oh, okay. And this is like when I first like even started to be like, okay, maybe I am a spiritual person.
Right.
So I was like, okay, like I got into that. But then when I actually realized that there was like the tarot card readers, and Soraya, please. I see it. I'm on the phone, okay? So when I seen the tarot card readers, I really started getting into it. I was watching it every day. I still watch it every day.
Yeah, I still have like, I had to like, like I can't watch the same lady that I watched when I first started that journey, because you overgrow people. Like, you got to find the readers and listeners that's part of your journey at the time. So I've been asking God to align me with people that's on my story right now. So I have like one or two that I do listen to, but I wanted to see if we kind of got introduced to it the same way. I'm thinking that this is how all God's like specific chosen ones were introduced to our enlightenment. Okay, keep going. Go ahead.
Yeah, so after I started watching the tarot card readings, and I was like, whoa, like this is too accurate. Like this is hitting everything on the nail. And it just gave me the hope. And I started seeing the things that were being said in my real life. And I was like, oh yeah, so I'm getting on this path for sure. Because this is the path that's leading me to happiness. I've been happy since I started listening to this.
Right.
And it's like I feel like this is like my version of my worship. Like, this is what I do so that I can hear the word. Because yeah, definitely when I first started, most of my the tarot card readers I listened to were more on the like karmic type of stuff.
Yeah.
And then now, more of the stuff I listen to is more of like,
We made it to the
I don't like,
crossover, and you're doing walking
yes,
into your purpose. And
yes. The last thing,
yes.
like the last part I was listening to is more about like my ascension and stuff like that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yeah, I felt the shift. I felt the shift so crazy. Like, I was like, wow, I feel like a
Yes.
new person.
Yeah. Facts. Facts. Wow, that's amazing, Charisma. Wait, so you say you were watching Cancer. Let me find out you a Cancer, sis.
I am.
No freaking way. When's your birthday?
My birthday is July 17th, 1997.
She a real Cancer, a July one.
Okay.
I just have to say,
Yes,
I
the
am the
cancer game.
president. I am the president of the Cancer Committee, being as though my birthday is July 3rd. But wow, Charisma, you're a Cancer.
If you want to know something, July 3rd was actually my daughter's due date, but I ended up having her early due to a C-section.
Whoa, yeah, because I told God I can only have that day myself. So sorry about that.
It's okay. I really believe that too. Like,
No, like I looked it up and everything. I'm like, what big celebrities and stuff like that have my birthday? And it's really not that many. Like that's really just my day for July 3rd.
yes,
I don't come
I
across a
love
lot of
that.
people with that day. Like July 1st, yes. July 2nd, yes. Like, but July 3rd, that's me. That's all me. Wow. So you're a Cancer. I love that because I feel like, well, do you know your whole chart? What's your moon sign?
So I am a Cancer, Scorpio, Sagittarius.
So you're a Scorpio moon.
Yeah.
And you have to be more like a Sagittarius to be in your North Node.
Yep.
Wow. So this
And
is probably why you're more like blunt and out there and you're okay with like sharing your whole story because you're a Sagittarius.
Yeah, and I feel it so much because a lot of people that's what I had to really get into was figuring out my whole chart because I was like, why is it that people really like? I know I couldn't be a crybaby, but I'm not though.
Right.
I'm not. I'm more of like you hurt my feelings, and
Bye.
I'm going to make sure that you know that you're out of here.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it takes me nothing to cut somebody off. Like they'll be gone tomorrow. But it took me a lot to get there. Like that's why I realized like when I was in my South Node, I was like holding on to everything and everybody that did not belong. I'm like, once
What
I
is the
finally
opposite of
let
Sag?
go.
What's the South Node? What's the opposite?
No, of Sag is
I can't remember right now.
Let me see. Hold on.
I might find it. South Node is
Don't look at it.
Gemini. No, yeah, Gemini.
Oh yeah.
You know that actually makes sense because Geminis, it's hard for them to make a decision at times.
Yes, and that's me. Like, that's why it was so easy for me to be in that like vibe because a lot of people were like, I would just let people take control over my life. I let people make decisions on the direction that my life was going, so that it can be easier for them to live their lives. So I started putting myself first. It's not that I cut off a lot of people, cut off everybody actually. But it's not like I did it in a malicious way.
Right.
I definitely did it in a way where it was like, hey, I understand, like, I'm focusing on myself right now. And the people who understood. And the people who didn't, they had to go.
But I don't think this is something about a Cancer that I feel like people need to understand about the crab is that we don't like the whole shebang. Like, if I could slip up out of someone's life, I would do it.
Then I will.
I would do it. I'd rather sneak my way out of someone's life than have a whole commotion because I don't need all of that attention. And one thing, I'd rather just like slither out your life because I know one day you're going to be like trying to come back. So I don't know. I want people to just realize one day like, dang, I'm like, we not that close no more. Like, I don't need a whole big argument problem for you to know that like we just not kicking it. I really like to be a snake, but I feel like people gotta understand that when it comes to definitely Cancers because people, I don't know, like we really ain't with the commotion. We'll just stop talking to you.
Yeah,
it just
because honestly, if you're like if you're doing everything out of the with pure intentions, I
Yeah.
feel like you knew I was being righteous within myself.
Right.
Then you should have treated me the way I should have been treated the whole time. I'm
Exactly.
nobody's parent to be directing them and how they should be moving in life. So if you fumbled me, that's on you.
Right. I don't gotta stay. And then I
So
feel like with cancers, we had to learn to like you don't have to stay. People make you feel guilty. So like your baby dad, did he make you feel like guilty, like you had to stay with him at any time, even if like how was the relationship when you became pregnant? Like was he trying to use that like you had to stay with him? You know how some people really think
so
that.
yeah, when I first got so let me tell you this, right? My child's father, if you ask anybody, he'll probably tell them that he never fucked with me.
Oh
But
gosh.
right, but he's the one who never left me alone. So, but when I got pregnant, he acted like he was so happy to have a baby. But that's really when his true colors started, because I feel like he waited until I was at at a point of I can't defend myself. I
Charisma.
am like I felt like I had nothing but him. So he put me in that, like, he separated me from everybody. He was definitely a
Charisma.
narcissist.
Was he a earth sign or a fire sign?
Oh, I wish you could guess.
Is he one of those?
Yeah, he's a Virgo.
I knew he was an earth sign or a fire sign. Listen to my video when I said because you didn't force it, you let this flow, it's going to flow to you naturally. I spoke a little bit about zodiac signs in there because I'm very unorthodox, and I'm God enlightened me on mad things that a standard Christian wouldn't like. So I spoke about zodiacs on there, and I said how definitely we have to take into account that the most important one is your moon sign, because that's your actual emotions and how you feel. Because I used to meet other cancers, and I know me and you can kick it. I could tell the vibe. I feel the vibe with you. But other cancers, because of their fire moon, we don't get along. Or because of like a earth moon that they might have, we won't really get along because I'm an Aquarius moon. So me being an Aquarius moon, I'm very airy. And like I learned myself, which helped me to learn other people, where like water signs and air signs go together more because we're able to flow better. We're able to.
I feel like I did hear that. I definitely did watch that video because I
Okay,
remember
yeah, I
saying,
said
like,
that in the
that does.
video. Yeah. And then fire and earth signs are better for each other because they're more slow. Okay. Fire signs are more of like the babies in the zodiac. And then earth signs are more routine and slow. Like the guy that put me in my karmic relationship that brought me into my awakening, he was a Taurus. And people be like, Taurus and Cancer and Virgo, you need an earth sign. You need an earth sign.
Right?
But that's wrong as fuck if you're not an earth sign in the moon. You get what I'm saying? If your moon is not earth, it's not gonna work. And then you're a Scorpio moon with the Sagittarius, so that's really not gonna work. You really might need someone that is an air sign, sis.
Yeah, the person I'm seeing now, he's actually a Capricorn.
I don't know.
Yeah, I
Unless,
know.
see, it'd be weird because what if his moon and stuff is compatible? You get what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, a Scorpio opposite of a Scorpio is a Capricorn, and you're a Scorpio moon. So as long as like his moon is like a water, you feel me, or his moon is an air, you guys are because how is the vibe? Is it way different? You can already tell a whole big significant difference from when the first guy, like your ex, the Virgo?
Oh, I can definitely tell the difference because one is more in tune with their emotions, like, and more in tune with who they are as a person. He has morals. That's one thing. He has dignity. The other one, he just is. So he serves himself and himself only. So that's the big difference I've seen. It's like one is more selfless than the other.
Okay. And I want to make a disclaimer because I know people gonna have opinions and ain't bunch. Listen, healed, unhealed, I don't like you. I don't like you regardless. You feel me? Unhealed signs, period. They ain't good regardless. So you can be a Cancer. And if you ain't healed, I probably still can't kick it with you. You can be an Aquarius, and if you ain't healed, I probably still can't kick it with you. So I just want to let that be known that if the person is not healed, They still
Yes.
ain't gonna be shit. Okay, just to let people know that right now. Because I could still, if you healed and you a Sagittarius or a Taurus or a Virgo, we might be able to kick it with you. But these are people that obviously was not healed. And
Mm-hmm.
the negative side showed out more. And people don't want to, admit these things. But earth signs are very selfish. And if they're not healed, what's gonna happen? They're gonna live in that. So I'm glad. Listen, the last guy that I was just talking to, he was a Capricorn. He was 27 years old, man of God. And I was like, yo, I'm used, Capricorns could be very egotistical because, of how they are. You feel me? And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, you got to learn to balance with that. So maybe, God been working on these Capricorns because they can be very, very powerful, but you got to learn how to balance the ego.
Yes, that's one thing I can tell that is something that he's like in the process of
Working on.
balancing himself. Yeah. And he's like one of those people that he is I would say like an airy person. Like he likes to be going with the flow himself. So I'm like, that's us. We just go with the flow.
So
And
he's
then
not
we go
very
with the
like
flow together.
routine. Like when you talk to him, how is his life? Like is
Oh,
he
he's that's the best part though, because I feel like he gives me very much opposite of me. And I feel like it's like where that's not me, but I would like that. That is him. So like he likes to be like, oh, he'll plan a date. This is what time we're gonna get there. This is what we're gonna do. Da, 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 da. And then I'm like, okay, I'm coming. I'll be dressed. I'll be there.
so that is very like earth. But he makes plans. Like y'all been actively dating?
Yes, actively dating, getting to know each other, like
Do you
meeting
see
each
this
other's
man being
friends and
your husband?
family.
Come on now.
You know, I feel like I see it, but
Do he
I
see it?
truthfully
Hold on. You don't think he sees it?
see. We haven't talked about marriage yet because I don't. I feel like I'm still healing. I feel like he's still healing. So I don't want to get into a marriage until we at least are at
So
that
what
same
do
point of
y'all be
healing
talking
where we can.
about? Grown conversations. Now
When
I'm
we
really
talk,
all up in it. Like what kind of grown
see,
conversations do y'all be having then if you're not talking
no,
about
we talk about our lives and what we want for going forward for the future, and like we're like I feel like we're very goal oriented people. So we both are like, okay, this is what I want to do with my life going forward, and we just make sure that our plans line up with each other, and that this is the type of thing. Like he likes to live in a city, I like to live in the city. Like we make sure that we're on the same timeline of going forward,
okay.
but
So
he's
do
definitely. I feel like though he's a little scared to share his emotions.
he's a little scared. So when
Yeah,
you're dealing with someone that's a little bit scared, guess what you got to do, Charisma?
I can't be scared either.
You
I
can't
can't
be
be scared.
scared. You have to take the lead and hit him with Cupid. You have to get this man to fall in love with you.
You're right. You're right. And I really got that. The thing is about it is like I wouldn't say I'm a flirtatious person because
But
I'm
there's
shy.
nothing wrong with
I would
that.
say
Like
I'm
flirt with that
shy.
man.
No, but I feel like I'm a naturally like I feel like I'm naturally like that. Like
Yeah.
I don't know how to do it on purpose, but I'm a naturally seductive type of person.
Right. No, I
I've
feel that.
noticed.
I understand. I feel that. I'm probably the same way. Like if you tell me to flirt, I'm like,
Right?
yeah.
You know, you know what? Have you seen stuff about the goddess Isis?
Yeah.
That's where I feel like the energy comes from. Like it gives me that type of energy that I feel like I embody when I'm in situations. So I know how to maneuver things in the moments that I'm in it. But it's like, when we don't live together because we started dating not too long ago.
Yeah.
But when we're together, I make sure she gets done.
I don't know. I met this guy. Now I'm getting personal. I always talk about how I'm married, but I think I found my husband.
Oh,
I found my husband, but he's an Aquarius. So
girl.
I'm an Aquarius moon. And then I even seen deeper that he's an Aquarius moon as well. And I'm like, this is why we connected.
Mm.
Because but that's just me though. Like I feel like I'm just like I can't deal with no earth or no fire. Like I'm really that technical.
No, I'm not gonna lie. The last guy who I was like talking to, He was Aquarius, and I thought that was gonna be
You thought that
that
was
he
the
was
one?
the one. Because honestly, like he embodied like that energy that I need from a man. Like I feel like they got that.
Well, where he
Yeah, I'm
at?
a
What
man.
happened?
So he lives far from me, and yeah, honestly, he's a little toxic. And like I feel like when I met him, I was in my toxic stage.
Mm,
So like once I literally just started my like healing journey right when I met him,
yeah.
and it was like he liked me, but once I finally got to know him, I was already like healed a little bit, and he didn't realize that that's what I was doing because we met online. We didn't meet in person.
Go back in time to who was like trying to get with you when you got in a relationship with your baby father, because that guy, I'm like, it felt like God
Okay.
gave me many options, but I didn't even notice, and then I picked the wrong one.
So the person who I feel like I was supposed to really be with, like we met when I was a teenager, and that's the same person who like I started messing with my child's father with after. So around the same time, like he always wanted to be with me, but we always had it was like never the right time because of like his status in America. He was trying to get that together, and he had to move to different states. So it was kind of like it didn't feel possible. But he's somebody who just kept coming back, like, and the chemistry between us was so crazy. But I personally feel like I believe in like twin flames or soulmates, but I
Yeah.
feel like if your soulmate don't do right, God will give you another one. And
Yeah,
I feel like
your
that's
twin
in the
flame. If your
situation
twin
I'm.
flame, if you're set out with a twin flame, like maybe that was your twin flame, and if they don't get it right, then
Mhm.
God will bring in a soulmate.
Yeah, soulmate.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's how I feel like I'm in that situation. I feel like I've gone through that already, like twice. But it's like, oh my God.
See, before I got like chopping it up with the Aquarius, this guy, I had went through so many other devils because God started showing me things. Like I seen like my twin flame and stuff in my dreams. So I was able to kind of like jump timelines because God would show me people in my dreams, and then I would hit them up, but like, what you want? What's up? Hey, like, and
Ooh.
then we would talk, and I would see what it was, and then it was like God needed me to clear out these cycles with potential mates that was still either they was pulling on my energy, or it could have been a chance where I would want to dibble and dab before I got
Yeah.
this before this husband came in. It was like God needed me to clear out these cycles with these guys, but because I'm
Right.
who I am, I was able to see it in dreams, and I was able to like do it real fast compared to other people, I guess. But do you think that like maybe but see, what I realized is that the Aquarius, the guy, when I finally responded back to this man, we had instant chemistry. And then when I started scrolling up, I seen that he was already there. It's been 4 years since I really even responded. And it wasn't like he wrote me once. No, he kept writing me and saying stuff. And then the stuff that he was saying, it was different. Like he'll write me and say, "You think we could make this work?" Or he'll be like, "I want to make the past up to you." And I'm like, huh? Like, so I used to
Oh.
never pay attention to him in 2021 because I'm like, who is this guy? And then he was like, "You think we could make it work?" And I remember writing him back, I'm like, no, LOL. And plus, I was like in that other relationship and stuff. So I'm like, I'm loyal when I'm in a relationship. Even
Right.
if he the devil himself, I'm still fucking loyal. Like,
Okay, like I'm
so
not the cheater.
but after that, like, it was just so much going on, even like up until I started talking, or like, yeah, talking to the Aquarius guy. Like, I was still closing out cycles, you feel me, with people and stuff. So do you think that maybe you're doing that? But also keep in mind, so this is somebody that already had his eye on me. You get what I'm saying? It's like years
Right.
in. Like, how do you think that maybe you're just going through the frogs right now, and you're probably gonna you think that
Yeah, I
you're
feel
on
like
your
I'm really going through the frogs, to be honest. Like, and it's like I feel like the counterfeits, they're in plenty, but I'm still trying to use my discernment to make sure that I'm not getting caught up in the wrong situations. But it's like difficult to me. I feel like this portion only because it's like we're gonna be aligned on the same vibration and stuff. So I know that we're gonna already be on that same like
yeah, you
vibe. So that's why I feel like the guy who I'm talking to now is on my vibe because it's like honestly, I'm not gonna say like I had a dream. I did have a dream, but it was like I don't like to. I like to just wait till it happens. I'm really a lover girl at heart. Like,
Yeah.
so, but like, after going through like the things that I've been through, it is. I can still say like it is like I still keep my eye out, keep my
See, the
checking
thing
on my
about
P's and Q's, but
the
I try
guy,
to be.
let me tell you a few things that you'll notice about the person that will tell you if this is the right person. But you got to understand, if your heart is still closed off and you're not
Uh-huh.
like
Ready to
what you,
receive it.
yeah, like you need to be able to receive love. Like you could be in a
Right.
season now where God is trying to give you the love of your life, and y'all both kind of like scared a little bit, so you're holding back. Me, when I got to
Yes.
talking to the Aquarius, I ain't gonna lie, I opened up completely, and I even told him, I'm like, yeah, I'm still gonna get my husband. I'm getting married. Like he was like, yo, I love that. Like your heart is still pure, and you don't care. And honestly, since that day that I wrote back to him, we haven't stopped talking yet. Like he calls me babe, baby. This is gonna be
Mm-hmm.
crazy. This story, this love story that's unfolded.
Right.
This guy,
Yes.
where we already kind of got chemistry and everything. So I feel like it's just gonna be undeniable. Like y'all just gonna get the talking, and it's gonna kind of feel natural. Y'all gonna feel pulled in, even if you're busy at work. Don't let nobody use that. Like, oh, I'm busy because this man works in the law, and
Mm-hmm.
he still be writing me like it. It's like you're gonna be pulled, because in this time God wants us to get where we need to be, and some of us,
Right.
we supposed to have a man by our side. So because we were dealing with all these karmas, it could have delayed some things. So God is trying to rush these situations in, or get you to meet your partner so that y'all can like see each other for, so if you get with someone and he sees you for who you are, and he's interested in you, or he feels like God sent you in, or he says, oh, I want to pray for us, always ask them too, like, do they believe in God, do they believe in Jesus,
Right.
and see how they respond to that. Because like the last couple of frogs that before I met this guy, I remember asking them and they would give me like a weird answer. Like one guy, no, and I'm just like, yeah, you the devil himself. Like that picture I posted in
Cause
my community board. But it was just like some of these, sometimes the signs be so clear. You feel me? So just ask. You just gotta ask the right questions. But I do believe
that's
that you're
good.
in
That's
your
nice.
prep and wedding season, because you already know that you're a loving girl. It's something in you that tells, it's because of the little girl in you. Like you already knew you was gonna be a wife. That's why you have that.
Yes.
You have that feeling in you. So I feel like this is definitely your prepping season for your husband. But I do gotta ask you now, what do you do for
Mm-hmm.
work? Like what else? Like what's going on with your business? Because we gotta have that in alignment before God think that we're ready for that love. So what do you
Yeah.
do now? I know you're on YouTube. Are you full time with that or part time with that? Are you trying to get like
So
full time part? What is
what I'm
it?
trying to do. So initially, okay. Let me tell you this. So I was actually working in a car dealership doing sales, and like that business is just not for me. I'm too nice for that. I'm too kind, like because I really want to help the people. I really want to get them all the deals, and they're like, you're supposed to be working for us. So like, and then I started noticing that they were doing things like they were doing things trying to pretty much steal. They were trying to destiny swap with me. Like they were using me to help themselves get money, and then trying to punish me for being upset about them doing these things to me. So I really believe that God led me to quit the job and then go full into. So I had a vision. I had a vision that like, because one day after I got into my apartment, so I myself, I moved into a shelter in 2023. Me and my daughter, we moved to a shelter and we were living our lives in there.
Well, where were
So
you
I was going,
where were you living before that?
I was living with my parents before that.
What made you want to
So
leave out? How did your parents receive your child too? One thing, another thing, because you wasn't married. Were they like a religious type? Like, oh, you got a baby out of wedlock? Like, how did they receive that?
no, I honestly feel like they only use that when it's only when it works for them. So they didn't really. They're just like, well, they didn't like my child's father, which is understandable because
Okay.
in like hindsight, he was the
Nobody should
devil.
like him for
But
you. Shit. Like
but
nobody should
I
like him for
was
you, basically. So you understand why they don't like
exactly.
him. Got you.
Exactly. So when I went into the shelter, I had to leave because I had no peace in there. Like, I had absolutely no peace, to the point, like, I felt like I was being haunted.
But
Like, I had to get
when
out
you
of there.
say no peace, why? What was going on? Like, were they just nitpicking everything? Did you have
So,
space for your daughter? Like, what? How
oh,
did
I
you?
had a space. I had a room for my daughter, but in that house, I felt like I was a slave. So, like,
Mm,
everything, like, I felt like I was just serving everybody in that house. And then still, they wanted me to help pay bills. And then I'm still, like, trying to make sure I stay afloat, but they want me to do everything for them and nothing for me. And then, not to mention, like, in this area, there's like a problem with mice.
mm-hmm.
And that's what sent me, because I was being like, I was
Yo,
being
are all
hunted,
cancers scared of mice? Cancer women,
girl.
comment down below, because I hate mice. I remember calling one of my cousins to come get one out of my apartment because he lived like a floor up or two. I hate mice, yo. Okay, go ahead.
Girl, I'm telling you, I was like, I couldn't even sleep. Like,
Yeah.
I would be sleeping and I would feel like it would feel like a mouse would crawl on me or something. But it wasn't really real. But I know I was feeling it. Like, and it got to the point, like, I was completely mentally gonna be gone if I would have stayed there any longer. Like, every day I was crying. I was like crying to everybody, because it
What
was
if
like,
it
I
was
just
like
want somebody to help
witchcraft that
me.
was going on and you didn't know about?
Honestly, I see, because at that point in time, I wasn't
Because
as
why
deep
would you
into
be
the
feeling like where
spirituality.
the mice was that bad where you would be thinking like they're
Girl,
crawling on you?
yes, they weren't that bad, to the point that, like, I could see them, like in multiples, like, with the light on. But with the light on, I had to keep the light on in order for me to go to sleep, because I was too scared, because I would hear mice running.
Got
And
you.
then, but one day, this is what it was, and I really do believe that it could have been witchcraft, because I do believe that people are constantly doing witchcraft against me, for sure,
Yeah.
because I've seen it with my own, like, I've seen the actual, like, results of it. Like, I'm like, wow, people really be trying to get in my head, and that's crazy, because they know that that's how they can do it. But
Yeah, they
that's
know
besides
that
the
your
point.
mind, this is the thing about the chosen ones. Our minds is the winner. Like you have a uncontrollable mind. Your parents, everyone already knew this about you. They knew that you were different because you went against everything that they tried to put you to do. You was like, I'm not just following this religion or doing this or
Right.
no. My spirit ain't saying that's right. That's the Holy Spirit.
Exactly.
That be the
Like, my
Holy
spirit's like
Spirit
that.
sometimes, bro. But we don't realize that when we younger. And I'm like, why do I always keep feeling like I'm arguing with my parents all the time? Is it me or it's just that we not agreeing because they don't see it? And you would think that they would see these things, but sometimes they don't. But I do want to say, when I moved back into my mom's house for a short period of time, I think it was like 2015, 16, I don't remember, when I had left college. It was so much hell taking place in that house. Like, I got money stolen from me. My car got broken into. I couldn't sleep. It was bed bugs in there. It probably was mice in that bitch too. I didn't have a bedroom because I didn't want to sleep in a bedroom that they gave me because it was like bed bugs. So I would just sleep in the living room, whatever. But it was just so much going on. I got kicked out of that house. And like that's how I left it off kind of with my mom.
Oh,
And
I'm sorry.
like,
I still hear you. The phone is breaking up.
you can't hear me?
Okay, I can hear you.
Oh, so I was like, I got kicked out of that house. It was just so much bad that happened. And I was,
Oh, it's doing it again. I don't know what's going on. Hold
yo,
on.
this happened yesterday. Call me. I'm going to call you back.
Okay.
Do y'all see this? Every time we get into something, it had to mess up the phone. Like, this is so weird. 2 times now. Somebody don't want me to talk about this story, but guess what? We already talked about it. That's crazy. Let's call it back.
All right.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, perfect.
This happened yesterday. Hi. With him, when I was talking to him, and he was like, yo, that's crazy. You seen who I started talking about, and then it wanted to start skipping. I was talking about my
That's
house.
what I was like,
At my house with my mom, and that's how it used to be. It was so fucking weird there. And I was an adult at this time. I was probably like 23, 22, working part-time at Hooters. I had quit my full-time job I was modeling full-time, and I was working part-time at Hooters, yeah. But it was just so much bad that was happening in that damn house, and I feel like it was because of some type of like witchcraft or something. Like God was just like, okay, here's your time for you to you're about to deal with, like, you're about to feel, I don't know, I just went through mad shit. Like, do you feel like you already said
Well,
you
I heard
do?
they call it. I feel like they call it like a Job season.
Well, that wasn't my Job season. And my Job season, I guess that could be the beat. No, I guess that could have been the beginning of that Job season, but I really feel like my Job season more was as an adult. But I guess that was my Job season. That was a long time ago when I think about it. That's true. That was my Job season back then. And then what I experienced as an adult when I turned 27 and everything was happening and stuff, I was losing things too. And that was like more of like a Jonah though, because I wasn't on YouTube how I should have been.
Right.
I had started speaking out, but then I guess the witchcraft was working. I was like, I don't feel like talking. I'm going against this religious church. So
I'm
like,
with this right now.
that's how you feel right now, girl. You gotta
Like,
you better
I'm
get your
getting it
ass up
back
out of
now.
there.
I'm getting back to it now. Like there was like, what was it?
Do
Like
whatever
last
you gotta
month?
do to get it out. Like, I turned off my comments. I changed it up where it didn't feel like I have to report like a job. Like, I'm on YouTube. I want to be able to talk and look how I want to look. I don't want to be getting overwhelmed because I gotta go look a certain way and then go to this certain location. So I changed it up. Now I do a voiceover. Like, I'm just making it easier for me where I could still get the messages and it don't feel like people can control me, and I'm not gonna get overwhelmed because I know how I could get. Like, I get snappy quick and I'm just annoyed and I'm like, I don't even want to do it. And I was doing that for a while. You feel me? Because I'm like, where's my soul tribe? Like, is people even going to feel me? Because I'm not normal. Okay. I don't believe in,
Right.
what people think. I guess I'm an alien. Hey, what's up?
Okay.
And I'm just like, where's my other aliens? And it just felt like, it felt a little crazy, but I was just looking like, I think it's been officially a year now that I've been posting, which is kind of funny. It's like, oh shit, how everything be so timed. But I didn't.
You want to know something too? Before I even seen like your video, or you were asking, I've seen a couple of your videos before that, but I did see a video before, like right before that, saying like that God wanted me to share my testimony, and then that's how I seen your video not too long after, and I was like, wow.
Yeah, someone else inboxed me about that too, because she was like, oh, talk about testimony, blah 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 blah. I was like, oh, do you have me on YouTube or whatever? Because I do talk and stuff. And then she went on my YouTube and I had just dropped a video about, do you have a testimony? And she was like, look, I just said about your testimony. It was just, so I guess God definitely was putting some synchronicities together with that.
Like, let me find out you're my soul family.
I think you really are. And you gotta listen to the call with yesterday with that guy, because I was like, let me find out you the soul family. I literally said that same exact line. No cap, Charisma. Don't let me, and I've been praying to God to find my people. They're gonna hate us for even, oh my gosh. And I don't do all that editing shit, so they just gonna hear this just like it is. But damn, they're gonna hate us now for sure. Because I would love to like really get on the phone and see y'all, like a video chat, and then maybe even like we could start like linking up and shit, like monthly like meetups. I think that'll be raw. I wonder if God is gonna bring more.
Yes, I can see it. I can see it.
But you definitely
love to
need
do that,
to keep talking, like do voiceovers if you have to. Just put a little picture on there. It don't have to be picture of yourself. It could be just random pictures. I figured out a way that works for me, and I'm like, okay, I could just do this. And I just decided to turn the comments on, but you could take comments off. Do whatever you gotta do just to get the messages out, because if you don't, you ain't gonna be blessed.
Right, you know what? And that's what I was like.
I just gotta keep it real. You're not gonna be blessed. You're gonna feel like you're in Jonah. You're in the well, and everything chaotic is gonna be happening around you, and you might still be feeling stuck. It's because you're in that well, because you haven't got your ass to where you need to
I'm not doing the work.
YouTube. Yeah, we were called.
Yeah, and you know what? Because I started on my TikTok and stuff, but then after it was like, like I was trying to do it, and then I'm like, why is this not working? And then
Yeah.
after a while, I was like, I'm so, like, I feel like God was just trying to put it in my face, because it was like, I watched this one video and the girl was like, you keep trying to do something and you're like, it's not right, but the answer's in your face. And I'm like, I'm so slow. I watch
YouTube.
YouTube every single day.
Yeah. Yep.
I was like, wow, ridiculous.
So I gotta check
But
out your videos. I'm definitely about to check you out.
yes, and I can follow you on my pages too. So I also make music as well. So like, I'm just getting into all of my creativity right
Right.
now.
I love that because I'm trying to get music is the one thing that I was just freestyling the other day with some friends because I'm like I need to get in a studio. I need to get back in that mojo. I need to stop being scared.
Oh, you
I
rap or you sing?
both. I can do everything. So I'm
Girl,
like,
me too.
so you saying that, I'm like, okay, she right. She probably really is sis because And then the guy yesterday, he was a rapper as well. And he was like, God had him.
Wow.
Yeah, he was in prison and God made him start writing like to rap. And he was like, what? And the shit actually is hard. And he be talking about God, but it's not like corny rap. You feel me? Like I want to talk about
Yeah, like,
real
because you
life.
know what throws me off? Like, there's some, like, I like when it's like an authentic feeling to it. Like, it's not like forced. And I feel
Yeah.
like some people, they make it like, I don't know, and they make it like a mask. Like, they make that
Hmm.
a mask for themselves. And it's like, I can just tell when things are not real. Like, I see through all that.
That's because you can see. Not everybody can see.
And it's weird because I've been like this like for a long time. Like, and I never knew that there was like, I didn't know I was different until I realized I was different.
How's your friends? Like, what type of friend groups do you have? Well, you say you got rid of everybody. So you have to
Yeah,
learn
I'm
how to
starting
let
from
love
fresh right
in.
now.
Let love in. Because you're going to get friends and you got to know how to receive them. You're going to get a man, you got to know how to receive him. Just make sure you're letting love in. Because you don't let everybody let
Yes.
go.
And it's hard because,
I know.
like,
That's why I said it. Because I know you
yeah,
think
like
it's hard.
I started from like, I had my friends that I've had since middle school that they've been with me through everything, but it still felt like they're not like, I love them, but it don't feel like we're not on the same wavelength right now.
Hmm.
So like I just like support them from afar, but I haven't found like right now, like I would say I don't really hang out with many people. Like my cousin, she's the one person who comes over all the time. And besides my boo. But like I'm gonna be accepting of people into my life. Like that's why I was like last week, I when I reached out to you, I feel like that was like maybe my first instance of me putting myself outside
Yeah.
out there so that I can actually open myself up into this and what I'm trying to get done, because I did also realize like, yeah, you're like, oh, I'm attracting. So then I really got stuck in that. And it's like, okay, I forgot I have to do something too.
Yeah, you do go through that stage where you're like, yeah, 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 yeah. Then God is like, okay, now it's time to do it. Because now
Yeah.
you already prayed for it. So once you do it, it's blessed. Like you got to do it now to get it. So,
Exactly. And I remember I was watching this one video, and they were like, to get my streams of income ready so God can bless them. I was like, immediately yes.
hmm
Immediately yes.
you feel like you feel like you're going to be the one to bless a lot of people.
Yes. 100%. I feel like the love that I have inside of me is kind of like, it feels so unmatched to myself. I feel like, dang, like, how do you have this much love to give?
Hmm. After
And
everything.
even then, it's still like I still get depleted sometimes, and so that's why I still know that I have to take time for myself to get my energy back up and to make sure that I'm still on the right sites, because sometimes like I'll really drain myself. Like I work myself sometimes to the point of I'm drained.
Hmm. You got to learn the balance because your mental is super important, especially if you're a being. You can't, our solitude and peace is important. You can't neglect that because then you
Yes,
can't
and
work.
yes. So I'm trying to balance my 3D and my 5Ds right
Yeah.
now.
And don't get caught like you go through that point where you're caught up in the 5D, yeah, and then you got to do it in the 3D, as above so below. That's like what we just said about I'm manifesting, and then you gotta like that. Faith without work is
Like, yeah, you
dead.
have to
Is that?
actually do.
Yeah,
But
faith without
it
work is
does
dead.
feel good to see the results come. It does feel good to like know that. It's not even like I do it. I do everything I do just because it makes me happy. But it does feel good to be like that's. I don't want to get validation from anybody outside of like God.
Right.
Like
It's definitely
it's not.
God that did it. But the thing is, people know that. Like your family know that. Like they ain't stupid. They know that they ain't help.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. And then let me tell you that one of my uncles, I'm gonna put that in quotations. He then told me he was like, yeah. I was telling him I was like, yeah, that because my family they tell me that they're very religious. They're into Jehovah Witness. So I was like, I tried to share the love that I was growing for God with my family, but they like what my uncle told me that he's like he told me that God didn't love me and that they did. I was like, oh no, the devil.
They said that God didn't love him.
He told me he was like God. I was like, yeah. I found. I was like, I've been deep in my spirituality, and I'm like, God loves me so much, and he's like, God doesn't love you. We love you. I was like,
What?
what? Well, I was like, wait a minute. You're
Hold
talking
on.
about. Yeah, I was like, oh, so you're just out in the public. Like, he
You
took the
just
mask
bold with
off.
it. Like you just
I was like, oh my God, like, you thought I was just going to come back and be cool with you after that? After you just exposed yourself like that? Like, that was crazy.
they don't notice that they exposed the demon. You know, demons. Yo, the thing is though, because we gotta embrace our. We embrace our dark and light. They don't know
Yeah.
that we so hip to the dark. Cause you gotta go through the darkness to get to the light. You made it through the darkness,
Exactly.
so you know everything about the dark. That's what they mean by getting your discernment sharp. So now you're able to discern friends. You should be able to discern uh, jobs, careers, what you're supposed to be doing. You should be able to discern better. And like,
Yeah.
yo,
That's bad funny because, like, ever since, like, I started, like, doing my posts on my social media, everybody's like, well, you should do this. You should do content like this. And you should do content. I was like, yeah, no. No. It's not what I'm here
not
for.
they trying to tell you how to do it.
Exactly. I was like, first of all, you don't even know what I'm doing at this
Right,
point.
right.
Because
That's why you
if you
can't.
did,
I don't post nothing on Facebook. I let my channel just grow off of YouTube. I'm like, God, let whoever is on YouTube like me just find me. Like, I don't promote myself. Like, I just posted a reel today on my Instagram because I did post just a snippet of the call and what he said. But, like, I really don't be wanting to post because if you're not on this vibe, you won't understand. You might think I'm crazy with the titles, whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right. And you know what? It's like, so that's the reason why when I first got on YouTube, I started watching the ones about cancers more. But then I started realizing that a lot of the ones that didn't have anything to do with cancer, a lot of them resonated for me. So I was like, let me just
because
be
they were
more
just the
open.
collective as a whole. Because God will have these readers that is talking about these his chosen children, but they don't know who they're talking about. So they'll be like that lady. She was lifting me up. She don't know that she actually was lifting up like one of God's important kids to get up
Right.
and get on this platform. Because if I didn't listen to that lady around that time, y'all, I don't think I would be doing these calls and be, you know what I'm saying, doing all of this YouTube right now, because she really lifted me up. I was going through that was like the darkest point of my life, and I really wasn't hanging with friends as much. They would come over, but like I wouldn't be telling them nothing. I was like, I wasn't working, making as
Yes.
much money like that. It was so much going on. Rent was just adding up, adding up. I was definitely being stripped from everything, but then going through like a whole spiritual change.
Rebirth.
It was just a rebirth. Yeah, like I was getting dreams. It was just so much things that was just happening. I was being curious about mad shit like astrology, numerology. I'm like, what's
Right?
this? What's that?
Like the mind just never stopped.
It never stopped. And then I finally started like getting on there. I actually, because I can read as well, so I had a channel where I read cards. So that channel started growing. I actually hit more subscribers on that channel than this one, but then I had stopped doing that channel. I haven't really posted a video there because I feel like it was still kind of the same energy, and I was getting sick of the karmic energy that was still going. So I stopped
Right.
reading cards. And then I was like, okay, there's still like inner work or something, that some cleansing that needs to be done, because the energy in the world it needs to change. So I started pulling back, and I'm like, okay, if people is of God, they will know it's time to like pull back, because it's a lot of repetitiveness that was going on. It was a lot of like repetitive stories, and I was like, okay, y'all need to pull back. Readers, pull back, pull back. We already know this. We already know this. Pull back. People need to just be healing and just in isolation at this time. So I really pulled back. I haven't posted on that channel in a couple months. But it's always a battle though with Terrell and this, because whatever you do in here, someone gonna have something to say. But
Right.
I want to hear you sing or something.
Oh, sing.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not gonna sing, but I might do a little rap. But
Wait, before you do the rapping, singing,
Mhm.
I want to know, what do you do again? I don't think we answered that.
Oh yeah. Okay. So what I do now is I'm going towards I'm going to school, going back to school, because I actually went to school to be an esthetician. So I am a licensed esthetician. So I do that, and then but what I'm going to do is go to school for sociology. But I'm starting my social media. I started because I want to go along the lines of a life coach.
I was just thinking of that yesterday. Like, because this one lady kept talking about school. You thinking about going to school? I'm like, God, okay, I get it. I get it. Fuck.
No, for real. Like, I felt the same way, because I was like, dang, like, I know, like, personally, like, I know things just off of the strength that I know them, but, like, I know that I'm also a part of this world, so I don't mind going back to school. I'm always ready to go to school. And I didn't like school when I was younger, but I felt that was because I felt like I was learning frivolous things. True. Like, I wasn't learning anything that was actually, like, interest, yeah. Like, but I'm so into learning. So that's what I'm going towards now. So I've just been I'm on my entrepreneur stuff right now.
What you selling, boo?
So I'm going to be doing my esthetician services. Mm-hmm. So that's what I'm going to be working on. And also I'm going to be starting doing
what's your esthetician Instagram?
It is Beauty Oasis by Cass. I haven't posted on there in a bit because I've been on my little journey.
Yeah, I get it.
So I haven't integrated that into one of my, I'm getting it all in line, getting everything lined up so that now every single day of the week I have something that I can do that's going to further me in my life.
Period. So basically you just being on your own thing. You walking by.
Yeah, I'm literally doing my own thing at this time. Like, that's I have my daughter.
Shit, that's what I do. That's how I've been surviving for the last couple of years. It's not hard when you got God. I tell you that.
I'm telling you, because before it was like, you feel like I honestly don't worry about nothing. Even though I don't work at that job I was working at, and I was getting pretty good money there, but the peace of mind and the fact that I can spend more time with my daughter. My daughter is autistic, so I have to put more intention into the things that I'm teaching her, and I feel like now I have the ability to do so. So I feel like that's why I was like so thankful, because that's all I wanted. Like, I want to be able to make sure my daughter turns out to have an amazing life, and so that she doesn't have to struggle the way that I did, but at least she'll be able to have these things and these lessons already instilled in her.
Wow. And also, I feel like we need to link up.
Yeah, where are you from?
I live in New Jersey. I'm from
that's not
New
far.
York, New Jersey. Yeah, it's not really.
So my brother, my family's from New York, and my brother's a rapper over there. So when we get off the phone, I'll tell you about that. I'll tell you about him. But we, my whole family pretty much from New York.
Oh, that's lit. We gotta meet in New York then. Like,
yes.
No, like soon. I'm serious.
I'm down.
Like, I want to see. I need to see this damn face.
Yes.
I need to see.
We gotta do this.
And I would love, after that, we need to schedule a esthetician, facial.
Yes, I get. Yeah, that's actually my favorite part of being an esthetician, is doing facials. Because when I went because that's how I knew that what I did was not like originally what I was supposed to be doing, because when I went, I just had this like, I need money, but I want to make money this way. So I went really to do lashes, but I hate doing lashes.
So how did you know? Who told you? Oh, do what you love and not what you want to do just to make money. When did you
As
learn
it was
that?
after me doing my healing journey. It was through spirituality. It was through God, because if it wasn't, I would have been still working at that dealership, and they were mistreating me and stealing from me pretty much.
Yeah.
So it's like, I feel like I left with all of my dignity, and I've been happy. I haven't been like, even if I don't feel like I have, like, I never feel like I don't have enough, because God always makes a way. I
Right.
always have. So it's like, oh, you know what? I'll be okay doing what I love, because I can make money out of myself. Like,
Right.
I'm tired of making money for other people.
When God done gave you gifts and things that you could do. He done gave you all the
Exactly.
information, all the tools. He just like, when you gonna do it? You mad and you yelling at me because you need money and I already gave you everything. He like, I taught you how to fish already, girl. I taught you how to
Exactly.
fish.
Like,
What you want? You want me to go fish
oh
for
no.
you and bring the fish? Like, girl, I already told you how to fish. And I said, if you fish, you're gonna be plentiful. That we always gotta
Yeah.
get it. The part when you just do it though is cool. So, how many videos do you have posted on your YouTube? When's the last time you dropped? Like, when do you drop videos? Do you have a schedule or you just random?
So far, since I just started posting on my YouTube, I've just been trying to get more traction on my YouTube until I get into actually putting in my messages that I'm doing. But I've just been posting the stuff that I've had on my TikTok. And then on my TikTok, I have like, what is it? I think I have 50 videos.
Okay. So
Yeah.
you
So
just been
I
posting.
honestly started doing this about, so it was like a little bit before I quit my job. So it was like in October I started posting, and then I kind of took that little break because I was feeling like I really was feeling that witchcraft. Like, it was
Yeah.
on me. Like, I was feeling like I could not do it today. And
Yeah.
I honestly, like, have you ever just been like, you sitting there and then somebody that you care about, and you feel like you love them and stuff, and they're your family, and they say something mad, suspect, and it's like, is there a demon in you?
Yeah.
That
That's because
happens.
your eyes are starting to be cleared. So now you're looking
Yeah.
at things differently. Now you're able to see people by their
But
fruits.
what? Yeah, and I was like, oh yeah, that was crazy. That was the craziest part to me. So I was like, that. When I realized that I could really see those things, I was like, okay. So now I know I need to be more focused on me, because I know that people are like, oh, let's go do this, because they have their ulterior motives.
Yeah, definitely got to know how to read people. Whew.
Yeah,
It's
I'm like,
hard though.
but I feel like it feels beautiful though. It feels beautiful, like, to know, like, I'm like, one day I'm gonna write a book for sure. For sure.
Definitely. I think you definitely should. Everyone
Like,
that has a story or a situation or things that they went through, they should definitely be writing some books, especially if it's going to be relatable. Like, we need more real stories out here. So I'm excited to check you out on your YouTube channel. And
yeah.
I'm excited to meet you in real life because I feel like you got a good vibe. I think we're going to vibe. And I don't really vibe with people. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I feel like,
I
finally.
don't really vibe like I know how to vibe with everyone. That's God made me that way, and I think I'm a Libra
Me too.
rising. So Libra risings, you have to be people,
Oh.
and like the South Node, I think is Aries. So I had to learn how to not be about myself and be more about other people and going out and partying and mingling with folks. So that's kind of what I've been doing now, but I just wanted to do it with the right folks. You know what I'm saying? But I
Right?
want to link up with you because you got a nice story. It's so beautiful. And you got a nice daughter. I want to see her. She's probably cute. And
Yes,
you
and just so
making it through. You
pictures.
walked out on faith and you're happy
Yes.
about it. It's not like you did it and you feeling bad, you in regret. No, you know that it was the right choice. You know that God was guiding you. This is giving me definitely a soul sister right here because you knew that God was guiding you. It wasn't just like a I don't know. It's like I said, some people
But
live in life and don't even realize that they live in a life. Like
right. Oh my God. And
you,
you know what? Like I knew that there was a point in time that I knew I wasn't like living life the right way because every single day was the same. And I was
mm-hmm.
like, oh my God, this is outrageous.
Yep.
Like, this is not all that life was meant for.
Right.
This is not it.
That's what
So I
happened to
was
me.
like,
That's how I broke away from certain like friends or whatever because I was like, we doing the same shit,
no,
and
for
I just
real.
thought like letting
And I
them
felt like
because
time was going so fast. It was like time was going
yeah,
so fast, and I was doing the same thing, and I'm just getting older, and nothing's happening. Like, but
yes,
now I feel like I feel like I've slowed down. Like, I don't feel like everything's so rushed anymore. I feel like I'm in where I'm supposed to be.
that's a good feeling. I feel the same way. When you feel like that, that's
Mhm.
because things is coming in your way. And you feel them. That's how you know when you're in alignment. Like you'll
Oh
feel happy
yeah, and
about
the
it.
opportunities just flow to you.
Yeah,
You
they
don't even
just
have to go
flowing.
get them.
Hmm. And you're just happy. Like I talk about people that's not happy all the time. Like you get around, I'm like, bro, you need some cookies or something. Like why you always
Yeah.
mad and angry? Like when you really make it past hell and enter into heaven, you're gonna be more happy. You're gonna be more forgiving. You're gonna be like, it is what it is, bitch. This what I'm doing. You know. And I definitely get that
Exactly.
cheerful energy from you, which means you forgave a lot of things. I could tell it's like a new heart.
Yeah, like
God done
there's so
restores your
many.
heart.
I forgave everybody who did me wrong. Even my sister just tried to come back and be like, "Oh, what size shoes does your daughter wear?" I was like, "It's okay. I understand that you want to help us, or to get her some shoes, but." I'm okay with how we are now. I do forgive you for everything that was done, but you need to. I should say, I let God, let
Man,
go and let
sometimes you
God.
ain't even gotta say all of that. Just leave that message right there.
The problem was that,
They'll get the
like, I
message.
told her, I left it there. I left her. I didn't even respond to her because she already knows what it is. But like, she tried to go through my whole family so that she can have a way in. So I
Mm,
was like, you know what? You can relay this message to her if you feel so inclined to, since you felt the need to relay her message to me.
yeah. Damn. Okay, we about to end this call for you two. We definitely went over an hour.
Yeah.
Let me think. Is there anything else? So, how is your? I guess your relationship with your sisters, your family. You just basically moving on. I'm moving on by faith. It's like you're not
Yeah,
really.
I'm moving on, but like I'm moving on with love, and I'm trying to just leave by and be an example, so people know, like, if this is the way that if you want to be in my life, then you have to get with it or get left. Like it just
Do
is
you
what it
have
is.
anybody that you feel like is there for you now? Because remember, you felt like no one was there, no one cared. Like, how is your support system now? Like, how you know?
I still feel like it's like I don't feel like there's anybody who understands me just
Hmm.
as much yet, but I do have people who are there for me that I can talk to a certain extent.
Can they help
So
you with things though? Not all like physically,
I
not
would say
just talk.
besides my boo, I wouldn't be able to count on anybody. I'm not gonna lie. Like I could say, like my parents, they're there. Like if I really needed them, like. But I'm also like one of those people who's like, yeah,
You don't
if
want
you
to
don't want
need
to be,
them.
yeah, like I don't like people to feel like I'm in their life for me to need them,
Hmm.
because then they try to take advantage of that, and they're like, okay, well then that means that our relationship is transactional, and I don't want any transactional relationships anymore.
So, out of your five siblings, who are you close to? Do you have one that you are close to?
I wouldn't say close now.
Wow, this is
No.
so relatable. I don't have any. I have eight siblings, and I'm not close to any of them.
Yeah, like it's dang, 8 siblings, and
Yes,
are they
my
all your full siblings?
yeah, they're all my mom and dad kids.
Wow, that's beautiful though.
Yeah, it's always just beautiful, but the my family dynamic is a shit show, which is why I always knew I was the chosen one, because my mom has 16 brothers and sisters,
Wow,
and they
I
all
always
got
wanted a
mad
big
kids as well.
family.
They all got big families, but they stick together. They're a different family compared to mine. My family is so different compared to every other family I have. Like my aunts and uncle kids. And that's how I know it's because of me. It's because of who we are, like my family. But all of my siblings are very like special, but I don't think that they realize it.
I agree. That's why I feel like one of my brothers, I feel like my brother, I feel like he was almost there, but he let society get to him before he could like really finish out his journey. But I feel like right now, I feel like he is possibly headed that direction. But I'm like, I give him the grace because I'm like, I'm not judging you because I'm like, only God could judge you. But like, I know that they got it in them to get there.
Yeah, they just gotta get past the point of like dealing with the cards that you were dealt. Some people still crying about just how they grew up and why this and that. I'm like, man, you got to get over that.
Yeah,
so
exactly. Because like after all this time, the only people who are responsible for your life now is you. So
yeah.
That's why I'm like, I just take the accountability for it, but I just try to lead by example because to be the example for them because I want them to know that it is possible for them to get out of that mindset.
Do they know about your YouTube channel? Do they watch you? Did they ever make a comment about it?
They don't. I don't think they watch my content, and I tell them all the time. I'm like, yeah, I'm posting this. I posted this. Like so far, like what I posted is mostly like I post like stuff for like. Because I'll get, like, downloads. So I'll post, like, motivation for them and let them know, like... Because I try not to do...
Oh, yeah, this is good. This is how we can close this off with YouTube, because we about to definitely close this. Tell them what to expect. And I want you to do a rap, okay? So I want you to tell them what they can expect on your channel.
Okay, so on my channel, you can look forward to motivational talks. You can look forward to... me giving you the downloads that I get from the Most High. And you can also look forward to any type of help, because I'm actually also going to be offering services to my clients so that I can have like one-on-ones with people, because I actually am very open to speaking with people and sharing my experience and giving them some insight to help them and guide them. So that's another reason why I want to go on that sociology, go to school for that. But that's what you guys can look forward to that. And then I also have my other pages that you can find my music, and you can also find my esthetician page at Cast the SD. So that one I can... Cast the SD is Cast, K-A-S, the S-D, S-T-E-E.
S-T-E-E?
Yes, like it's... So it's instead of Bestie, it's
K-A-S-T-H-E. E-S-T-E-E. Oh, Easty.
Yeah, like S-E, like esthetician.
Like S. Okay.
Mm-hmm. But that's like how I started, like, my other social media. But my main page is the Cast the Bestie.
All right, let's get a quick freestyle rap, whatever you want to do. We got a couple minutes because hopefully this video don't take 30 days and 30 nights to post, because I want to post it maybe tomorrow. Let's hear something. I don't know.
Okay. Hold on 1 second. Give me 1 second.
Like, if you say you do music, we're gonna hear some music.
Okay, I got you. Hold on.
Yay.
All right, because the phone is on 1%, so I want to make sure that I can.
Oh yeah, go charge it.
Yep.
I'm excited. I can't wait to meet you, actually.
Oh, thank you. I'm still like, my music is still, I have like, it's still a mix. And I feel like when I'm going to come out with a project, and it's going to be a project that's going to show my progression from before I started my journey up until now, after I did my journey. All right, hold on 1 second. Okay. All right, you ready?
I'm so ready.
I'm ready. You ready? Okay, hold on, baby. I'm ready. All right. Wait, I'm okay. I'm cool to curse, right?
Yeah, you can curse. I don't care, You
All
know.
right. Yeah, girl. All right. It's shit on my mind, but baby, I want to turn. Soraya, you want to listen? Yeah. Okay. All right. Ain't shit on my mind but a fucking chat and patience. So you know I'm getting shit though, right? When they ain't called, they make sure to come collect, thinking that they better wear that on their chest. Cause on God, I'm not late. Came to the dinner, but for you it's not a plate. I'm cash, so you know they making sure I'm on the way. And touch what I touch, so you ain't got no room to play. Like all this time to waste, but on God, they gon' feel me. Breaking them down, yeah, I swear to this the real me. People homicide, bro. Say things the right way. Okay. Yeah. I was
I
saying.
think she
Yeah,
like
you.
rapping with you.
I think so too. I'm not gonna lie, I put her in the ad lib of one of my songs. So yeah. I want to listen. You wanna listen? Yeah. But you're not listening.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
talking.
Hey baby, I'm on the phone, okay? No, I go too. Okay, I might have to call you back on that.
Oh, but we
Because
heard it. We heard the bars. You
yeah,
know you got
I got.
bars.
Thank
You know
you.
you
I'm like,
got bars.
I do, I really do. And I'm like, that's what I was like. I will 100% do. I feel like I want to do more music, but more towards like the higher vibing. Because when I
Yeah.
just started doing my music, it wasn't so vibey. It wasn't so high vibing. It was more like where I grew up, the way I grew up,
Yeah.
and then it changed over to like now I'm like, wow, okay, this is uplifting, and this is like it's like feeling like all the stuff that I went through taken off my shoulders and put it in a song.
How
But
does the guy that you're dating, does he know about your music? How does he feel about all of this? Is he supportive?
he knows about my music. He's like, he's like my number one fan.
Aww.
Yeah. So he's very supportive. He supports like everything that I do. So that's why I'm like, yeah.
Okay, this is giving green flag, green flag, green flag.
Green flag for real. He's a good man, Savannah.
You gotta really listen to the call that I dropped with his name is Relentless Cranko. And he went to prison or whatever, but you gotta listen to him because you guys are very similar. And he's in Capricorn, he's 27. But
Wow, so I'm gonna definitely listen to that when I get
just
off of
like
here.
with the rapping, he's an artist, and then like just the things that you're saying is some things that he said, and I'm just like, wow, God, wow, wow.
The alignment.
Yeah, the alignment is crazy, and I'm just impressed by you as well. I'm just like, oh wow, God, like look at your children. So
Right, I love it. I love
yeah,
this.
we
This makes
definitely
me
going to
so
chop it
happy.
up. And like I told him, Krenko, I would want to do like maybe a follow up or whatever. Maybe we could show our faces next time, and you can have like something that you want to perform or say. I don't know.
Yes, 100%. And then I make sure that I have a little bit of free time so that Soraya will be able to just, relax a little bit.
Yeah, that's okay. She wasn't a bother to me. I mean,
Yeah, no, she is my little turnip twin.
it's
my
funny because
echo.
you have a daughter first, and I feel like my first child is going to be a daughter for sure.
I manifested her. I'm telling you, like
Yeah, I
my
want
whole
a daughter
pregnancy.
first because I feel like girls are smarter, so they if having them as the first child, they'll be able to help you with the second child.
Yes, I feel like so the whole pregnancy, everybody was like, "You're having a boy. You're having a boy." I'm like, "Nah, this is a girl." I'm telling you right now, this is a girl. And they even when the ultrasound came, they were like, "I think that's a boy." I'm like, "It's a girl." But when one day I had a dream, and in my dream I was like, "I swear I seen a boy," and I got really like, I was like, "Really? No, it's not a boy. It's not a boy. I told you it's not a boy."
Yeah.
And then when the ultrasound came back, it was a girl. I was like, "Yeah, I knew that." I was like, "You trying to trick me?"
What kind of dream was it that you saw the boy?
It was like, it could have been like another spirit baby. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, right. It could be the next one.
But yeah, but it was like
It could be the next one
when
because God is like, she wants a girl right now. Like I told God that I said my first child, girl, but like my mom had a girl. A lot of my sisters always have like girls, so I feel like they all had no, except for my other sister. She's just a boy mom, but I'm just like I want a
yeah.
girl. Like I want a
Yes,
girl
I feel
first.
like
She
it's
would be
so
able to help me.
Yeah, because I feel like one, like I need to have that, like, to my daughter, so that I can teach her the self love that I wasn't taught for myself. Like, I feel like when growing up, I taught myself how to do everything by myself. Like, the only thing I can probably say, they may have taught me how to brush my teeth and tie my shoes and my ABCs and my
Yeah,
one, two,
but you gotta
threes,
do
but
that.
like,
You gotta do that to a boy as well. You gotta teach all of that to a boy. So when I say I
yeah.
wanted a girl, it's not because of that, because I'm gonna teach my son that as well. It's because
Oh yeah, no,
I
but
know
I
that
want her
I
to teach
want
herself
multiple
love. Like,
children. I want multiple children, and I know a girl first is more easy to understand you being a mom as opposed to a boy. Boys think you're supposed to be a superhero. They look at their mom as like
yeah.
she always came through. She doing this. So I feel like boy moms sometimes they struggle more because they want to like uphold that they can handle things, and then this is how they raising these sons that feel like women are supposed to do this, this, and this. So
Yeah, I
this
feel like a
being
lot
like
of people
my
though who
first
do want
child and that's your
boys.
first child, I feel like that's why a girl worked for you, and I feel like that's why I want a girl. I'm just like, if I have
I feel
multiple
like the people who
kids,
I knew who wanted a boy, they're more like, I want a son so that I can have someone who loves me, and it's
yeah, and someone that they could
like,
cook for and cater to, and someone that could, yeah,
like
that's
that's not your
exactly what it is.
man. That's
A
not your
daughter is
man.
gonna put you in your place. She's gonna check you. She's gonna be a mom. She's
Yeah,
gonna
she
be
shows me
nurturing.
me. She
Yeah,
shows me me, and she shows me where I need to, where I lack, and where I need to do better on myself.
right.
So I definitely see. That's my favorite part about having her, because like, one, she's fun,
Yep.
and she's so smart. I honestly feel like she's a gifted child in itself, because like, even
I'm
from
sure she
she was like,
is.
she did not talk until she was like 2.5, due to her, like,
Mm.
her autism. But she could reenact things. Like, she used to reenact full movies from beginning to end. She
Wow.
can do whole dances that she sees on a TV screen. Like, I'm like, how did you know? Like, she knows, like, she's mouthing the words, but she didn't feel like comfortable to speak. Like, she
Mm.
didn't find her voice yet. But definitely was like, pray to God to help me with like her speech and everything. So we got all her services taken care of. So it was like, I feel like also with her having autism too, it like helped me with my strength. Like, it gave me power. I feel so empowered all of the time. So like, it
Yeah,
helps
because
me.
that's a lot to deal with.
Yeah, like, it is a lot, because one, I've been doing it by myself, and like, having to deal with her dad.
Yeah,
Her dad is
and he
like, when
probably doesn't
my
even get it or understand. Like,
he
just
doesn't he doesn't he doesn't get it. He doesn't help, and he's also like, when I was pregnant, he was like putting his hands on me and stuff like that.
oh
So it
Lord,
was like, yeah, I had to have the strength to not be a bitter person even after that, and
right?
still like
They
let
could still
him
have a
have
relationship.
heart. Yeah, and that was another lesson in itself that taught me to have the strength, because it's so hard to be like, I don't want to be a bitter person, but I let him play his cards the way he wanted to play them, and that's the only reason why he's not in her life at this moment, because that's what his choice was, not because of me.
Right. Damn.
Yeah, but I'm like, I'm always good. Like, in the end, like, I keep the people who show love closest, and anybody who is not showing love, they don't have to be here. It's cool.
You want only love around you.
Okay, like, I really don't want none of the drama. Like, I know I used to be a toxic girl. Like, I used to be toxic, and then I just was like, nah, I'm not doing that no more.
Right.
No, because as soon as I start being toxic back to people, they don't know how to stop. I know how to finish it, but people don't know how to stop.
It just keeps going, and now you're like, I don't want to keep playing this game. Like, I'm bored. Like, because if I go crazy, 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 then it's gonna really be a problem. I used to have that problem with like, do I really go
Oh, the phone's
crazy?
breaking up.
It's breaking up.
Yeah.
It's 1:44 on the clock right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we did a lot today.
All right, so thank you so much for coming on the call, Charisma.
Thank you so much for having me. And I'm sorry that I had so much to say, but I do appreciate for you letting me tell my story. And I'm so happy I got to meet you today, even though we haven't met in the 3D yet.
Right. We're gonna meet very soon. And we might vlog it and post it on the channel. Like me meeting Charisma on the channel. I don't know, that'd be cool. But all right, y'all. I'll catch y'all in my next video. Bye.